Title: Hurry, Before Dad Returns, Son. A True Infidelity Story. Prologue. The Illusion of Perfection. The story opens with a snapshot of Jared's seemingly perfect family life. David, his father, is a hard-working man whose job often takes him out of town. Megan, his mother, is the glue that holds their home together, at least, that's how Jared sees it. There are small, unnoticed cracks in the family dynamic, but for Jared, his parents are his heroes. The prologue sets up the illusion of perfection that will soon come crashing down. Chapter 1. The First Signs. David leaves for another work trip, and Jared senses something off with Megan. Small things begin to change. She starts dressing differently, spending more time out of the house, and is often glued to her phone. Jared is curious but doesn't suspect anything at first. He feels the growing distance between his parents, but he attributes it to his father's absence. Chapter 2. The Discovery. One day, while looking for something in his mother's room, Jared stumbles upon her phone, lighting up with a message from someone he doesn't recognize. The message is too intimate to ignore. Jared is shocked as he reads through a series of texts revealing an affair. He feels his world spinning out of control. How could this happen? Who is this man, and what does it mean for his family? Chapter 3. Confrontation. Jared confronts his mother with the evidence, his emotions a mixture of betrayal, anger, and confusion. Megan doesn't deny the affair but instead pleads with Jared not to tell his father. Hurry, before Dad returns, son, she begs, desperate to keep the secret. She tries to justify her actions, telling Jared that she's lonely and that David's constant traveling has left a void in her life. Chapter 4. Trapped in Deceit. Jared agrees to keep the secret, but the weight of it is unbearable. He starts to withdraw from his father, feeling guilty every time they talk. Megan's affair continues, and Jared feels complicit in the lie. The tension in the house becomes suffocating as Jared's internal conflict grows. He begins to resent his mother, feeling as though she's put him in an impossible situation. He also starts to distance himself from his friends, unable to talk to anyone about what's going on. Chapter 5. The Other Man. Jared starts investigating the man his mother is seeing, following her one day when she leaves the house. He sees her meet a stranger in a cafe, and his heart sinks. The man is younger than his father, charming, and seems to be everything David is not. Jared feels a surge of anger and betrayal, not only toward his mother but toward this stranger who is invading their lives. He begins to fantasize about telling his father the truth, but fear holds him back. Chapter 6. The Pressure Builds. David returns home, oblivious to what's going on. Jared feels the tension grow with each passing day, the secret gnawing at him. He starts acting out at school, getting into fights and slipping in his grades. His teachers notice, but Jared brushes it off, not wanting to reveal the turmoil at home. His relationship with Megan deteriorates, with arguments breaking out more frequently. Jared feels trapped, torn between loyalty to his father and his mother's manipulation. Chapter 7. A Close Call. One evening, David comes home early from a trip, and Jared panics as he realizes his mother's lover is still in the house. In a frantic rush, Megan tells Jared to stall his father while she sneaks the man out. Jared's heart races as he tries to keep his father from going upstairs, lying to him for the first time. David senses something is off, but Jared manages to deflect suspicion, for now. The incident leaves Jared shaken, realizing just how deep into this web of lies he has fallen. Chapter 8. The Burden of Truth. Jared's guilt becomes overwhelming, and he starts withdrawing from both his parents. He can no longer look at his father without feeling like a traitor. He isolates himself, spending hours in his room, avoiding family dinners, and ignoring his mother's attempts to talk. The emotional toll on him is visible, but he doesn't know how to break free from the situation. Jared contemplates running away or revealing the truth to someone, but every option seems impossible. Chapter 9. The Breaking Point. David notices the change in Jared and confronts him, asking what's been going on. Jared, overwhelmed, breaks down and confesses everything in a flood of emotion. David is initially in disbelief, unable to accept that Megan could betray him like this. But the truth is undeniable, and the betrayal cuts deep. Jared watches as his father's world collapses, the man he idolized now broken and devastated. Chapter 10. The Confrontation. David confronts Megan in an explosive argument. The facade of their happy family shatters as years of resentment and hidden issues come to the surface. Jared listens from his room as his parents scream at each other, the walls of their home reverberating with the sounds of anger, hurt, and blame. Megan's affair is just the symptom of deeper problems in their marriage, problems that were ignored for too long. Chapter 11. The Fallout. David moves out, leaving Jared and Megan alone in the house. The atmosphere is heavy with silence and regret. Megan tries to explain herself to Jared, but he no longer wants to hear it. His relationship with both parents is fractured, and he feels lost, unsure of where to go from here. The home that once felt safe now feels like a prison filled with painful memories. Chapter 12. Rebuilding. Jared's life begins to take on a new shape as he tries to navigate the aftermath of the affair. His parents are separated, and he divides his time between their two homes. The emotional scars are deep, and Jared finds it hard to trust either of them. However, over time, he begins to rebuild his relationship with his father. David, though hurt, tries to be there for Jared, understanding that his son was a victim in the situation. Chapter 13. Moving forward. Megan attempts to reconcile with Jared, but their relationship remains strained. She seeks therapy, trying to understand her own actions and the damage they caused. Jared, now older and more reflective, begins to come to terms with what happened, though the pain of betrayal still lingers. The story ends with Jared standing at a crossroads, uncertain of the future but determined to not let the mistakes of his parents define him.